is up, you guys? It's your girl, the real Mrs. J. And you guys, I just wanted to come on here. We are not going to talk about anything that we normally talk about, and that is about the whole circus of blues and all that good stuff, right? But today I wanted to talk about something serious, and that is these pardons that Joe Biden has been passing out and these commuting of these sentences of these murderers, okay? Murderers. Not something that happened when they were younger and, it was a mistake or something like that. No, we're talking about straight up and down murderers. So, the reason why this touched home with me is because I'm from Richmond, Virginia. And during the time when I was younger in the 90s, during my heydays, there was a lot of things that was transpiring and I remember these things, okay? I remember them like they were yesterday. And when I found out that Joe Biden pardoned these two guys that were from this gang called the Newtown Gang, I absolutely had to come on here and talk about this, y'all, because these are not people that just unalived, okay? They, yeah, they were about that life, okay? They took out at least 11 people. All right, so I'm going to show y'all this quick clip from, this was back in 93 when they were convicted, and this was a big thing. It was on the news. So I'm going to share this video with you guys real quick, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to read this news article to you.
Screaming the government has railroaded her son, Richard Tipton's mother walks away from the federal courthouse. Tipton, James, Roan, and Corey Johnson, otherwise known as the Newtown Gang, have all been sentenced to death for murders they committed to carry out a conspiracy to sell crack cocaine in the city. Prosecutors thought the penalty fit the crime. Defense attorneys spoke of appeals.
But it's the appropriate sanction given the extreme level of violence that they brought to the city of Richmond, given the fact that there are 11 dead bodies that they've left on the streets of the city.
With that many murders and the allegations that were going on, I mean, you could have put Mother Teresa at that table with those defendants, and she'd have been convicted of something.
For these students from Henderson Middle School, the excursion to the federal courtroom started off as a field trip. But after two of the defendants turned to them and said, "Stay in school and away from a life of crime," the trip turned into a lesson of life.
If they say something to you, then they sometimes don't want you to end up like they are, because they don't want a lot of people, especially young minorities, to be like them.
I think, they spoke the truth. If they did something bad, they won't want us to do nothing bad.
The long-awaited sentences in the federal Newtown Gang trial have been handed down, but according to officials, they can't be carried out. That is until Congress rules on a method of execution. In Richmond, I'm Jay Ariano, WTVR News Channel 6.
So yeah, you guys, 11 bodies, 11. And during that time, everything was just so wild. Like, that's when drugs was like crack cocaine was like a big thing, because crack cocaine came into our neighborhoods in the it was about, I would say, the mid 80s. So when you talk in terms of 1993, it was really, really prominent everywhere. And everywhere in the city of Richmond, like on each side, there was all types of gangs. I mean, like, it was nothing to drive down the street and see a bunch of guys on the corner and crackheads walking up and down the street, y'all. Like, for real. And this was during those times. So when I say that this was not like a mistake or something that happened when they were younger, these people were cold-blooded unalivers. Like, for real. So, I'm gonna share my screen real quick because I want y'all to see this article that was written in the Richmond Times Dispatch about what happened. So it says Biden spares death penalty for two members of the Richmond gang convicted of murders. So it says in 1992, James Rohn and Richard Tipton were part of a notorious Richmond gang that police say were responsible for a string of gruesome murders. Since then, they have awaited execution on federal death row. On Monday, they saw their federal sentences commuted from death to life in prison as a part of a parting act of clemency by President Joe Biden. In a statement, the White House said Biden believes that America must stop the use of the death penalty except in cases of terrorism and hate motivated mass murder. Roan and Tipton were part of a group called the Newtown Gang, which authorities said included at least three other members: Corey Johnson, Vernon Thompson, and Sandra Reeves. The gang sold crack cocaine and resorted to killing rival drug dealers and potential police collaborators. Snitches, okay, aka snitches. So at least 11 people were shot or stabbed to death by the gang. Police said that in one killing, a gang member was stabbed 85 times in the neck. So, do y'all see what I'm saying when I say they didn't do something like that was an accident? Somebody was actually stabbed 85 times in the neck. Okay, so Johnson, by then 55 years old, was executed in January 2021, a week before Biden took office. Johnson has sought for years to evade the death penalty, but his lawyers were unsuccessful in an effort to hinge upon providing he had an intellectual disability. In a statement released by his defense team after his execution, Johnson said he was blind and stupid. Yeah, okay. Roan and Tipton remain on death row. Shortly after taking office, Biden issued a memorandum on federal executions, which indefinitely paused death by lethal injection, which commutation, the two did I say that right? Commutation, the two will continue to serve the remainder of their sentences without the possibility of parole. The decision was criticized by former Richmond Sheriff C.T. Woody, who was the lead Richmond police detective on the task force that investigated the Newtown gang members. Woody said the gang will kill 3 to 4 people at a time and alleged that they were responsible for more murders than what the police could prove. That's what I'm saying, y'all. That is what I'm saying. And when I try to give y'all a brief description of how things were during that time. So then it's this article goes into saying there was 5 others on a list that have Virginia ties that Joe Biden commuted their death sentences of 37 federal inmates on Monday, preventing incoming President Donald Trump from carrying out executions. Um, so it says, in addition to Roan and Tipton, which is the two that made it, because the other one was ultimately executed. Others on the commuter list who had Virginia ties were Carlos David Carroll, sentenced in 2007 for the 2003 killing of his cellmate at a United States penitentiary, Lee in Jonesville. What? Thomas Morocco Hager, sentenced in 2007 for the 1993 unaliving of a 19-year-old Barbara White, who was stabbed 82 times and discovered in her Fairfax County apartment by her 1-year-old daughter. Prosecutors said Hager, a drug dealer, was responsible for four murders in the 1990s. David Anthony Runyon, sentenced in 2009 for his involvement in the death of a naval officer in a murder for hire plot in Newport News. Jorge Avila Torres, sentenced in 2014 for the killing of a fellow Marine while stationed at Joint Base Meyer Henderson Hall in Arlington County. And the list just goes on. Like, what in the world? I am so glad that Joe Biden and his administration are getting the F out of here, because you guys, come on now. Come on. And all of this was because he's against the death penalty. But this is what confuses me, because you're against the death penalty for obvious people who deserve the death penalty. You want to protect their lives, but you don't want to protect the innocent lives of unborn babies. So these people are more important to you than an unborn child that can't even make a decision on their own, and their human life. But their lives are less important than these people who have unalived, stabbed this girl 82 times. 82 times, 19 years old. Hadn't even started her life yet. But this was some type of statement of that you're protecting people on death row. Now, see if these were people that had the possibility of being innocent, or the circumstances of why they were sentenced to death. I can understand that, but these people were blatant murderers. They were blatant killers. 82 times in the neck. Unaliving 4 and 5 people at the same time. So this wasn't like a body here, a body there. No. This is just like coming through and just laying it down. But you guys, it's almost over. These crooked people are almost out of here. I mean, I don't understand the thought process, the moral turpitude. I don't understand none of that when it comes to this situation right here. But anyway, you guys, let's get off of this, and y'all tell me what y'all think, because I really want to know, what do y'all think about these pardons? Are y'all glad that this man is about to leave office? Like, y'all, this is crazy. But anyway, I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, The Real Mrs. J. And I will see you all on the next video. Peace.